With me today is Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Winston Peters and also Defence Minister Judith Collins. Today we are announcing that we are sending 6 NZDF personnel to support any future military action against Houthi targets in Yemen and the Red Sea. This is in response to Houthi actions which threaten commercial shipping. Freedom of navigation is an integral part of New Zealand's national prosperity and our trade security. Our Defence Force has a long-standing role in supporting maritime security in our exclusive economic zone and throughout the world. Secure shipping lanes are integral to our national interests, and nearly 15% of global trade flows through the Red Sea. The Houthi attacks are disrupting supply chains, they're driving costs higher for Kiwis and causing delays to shipments that now have to round the Cape of Good Hope. More than 2,000 ships have been diverted from the Red Sea, and it is also hurting exporters trying to get their goods to Europe and to the Middle East. The Houthi attacks are illegal, they're unacceptable and they're profoundly destabilising, and we and our partners have made repeated calls for them to stop. The Houthi choose to defy those warnings, and indeed their attacks become even more indiscriminate. So it is a logical consequence that we join international partners in tackling this ongoing threat to security. More than 60 nations have been affected in at least 31 attacks by the Houthi on ships in recent months. And choosing to support action in the Middle East is not unusual for New Zealand. New Zealand has contributed to maritime security efforts in the Middle East and elsewhere continuously since 2013 to protect not only our vital national interests but also the international rules-based order. I'll now ask that Minister Peters and then Minister Collins pass some remarks to add to these comments. Winston.
Thank you, Prime Minister, Minister of Defence. Our foreign policy goal is to protect the prosperity and security of New Zealanders. The illegal Houthi attacks on commercial naval vessels pose an economic threat to our trading nation by imposing supply chain costs for our exporters and importers. As a consequence, it also impacts the cost of living here. But clearly there are consumers worldwide desperate for essential ship products, including foods and medicines. This piracy threatens the existence of hundreds of millions of innocent consumers worldwide. More broadly, Houthi attacks on the Red Sea shipping lanes defy the international rules-based order. The United Nations Security Council thinks so, and so does the New Zealand Government. Freedom of navigation is a principle that goes to the core of our national interests. Thus, support for maritime security in the Middle East is not new. We have been doing so continuously since 2013 with the same goals in mind: defending lives, de-escalating tensions and restoring stability to the Red Sea. Now back to you, Prime Minister.
Judith, do you want to pass the remarks?
Thank you. Thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you, Minister of Foreign Affairs. This deployment shows the New Zealand Defence Force stepping up to defend our national interests and support our international partners. New Zealand's support for international law, peace and stability is perhaps even more important given we are a small country at the bottom of the world. Our isolation means any international or intentional disruption of global supply chains will directly impact the lives of New Zealanders by driving up prices. And it's not just about that, it's about doing the right thing by our international partners and playing our part. Our personnel will support coalition forces in carrying out precision attacks on identified military targets. They will be at operational headquarters in the wider Middle East region and elsewhere, but they will not go into Yemen.